Coming up on The Biz, we go to Las Vegas for a look at Sin City's new futuristic mode of transportation. Coming up after the break, a look at Sin City's new monorail. Later. All right, imagine hurtling from one Las Vegas casino to another at 50 miles per hour in a giant can of Monster energy drink. Sound weird? We thought so. Actually, it's going to become commonplace by next year, and that's because Sin City is getting a monorail system to help ease the Strip's heavy traffic congestion and to also get more people, of course, into the casinos. And that's where our next guests come in. John Haycock is the chairman of the Las Vegas Monorail, and Rodney Sachs is the chairman and CEO of Hanson's Beverage Company, the rail's main advertiser. Both men join us now from Las Vegas. Welcome to the program.
Hi, David.
Morning, David.
This is interesting because it's the first public project that is entirely privately funded. Is that correct?
That's correct.
How's it working?
Well, we're pretty excited about it. What we're doing today actually is showing off the first completely graphic train in the system, the Monster energy drink. Rodney Sachs, chairman of Hanson Beverage Company, has stepped to the plate and formed a partnership for the sponsorship of this train. And we actually, together with advertising revenues and farebox revenues, expect that we can pay back $650 million in debt service.
And so this, Rodney, why don't you tell me a little bit about what your hopes and wishes are with this? Obviously, if you're shrink wrapping these cars with your label on it, you're just hoping it's going to be upping sales of your drinks, no doubt. But it's a great branding opportunity, right?
Sure. It's a very unusual branding opportunity. We regard this as a totally immersive advertising environment, which is something I couldn't get from just a billboard or a regular advertisement. You know, one of the biggest challenges facing a marketing group is ensuring or achieving the consumer recall between the time the consumer sees your product advertised and the time that he walks into a store and buys the product. And that needs a number of repetitions, and in this case, the first impression is the consumer will see the big Monster M hurtling down the track at him, and then he sees this really well decorated with high-class graphics train, and then the next step is to get into it, and then he gets into it and he gets immersed in the total Monster experience. We're going to have video screens in each car, 2 screens showing all of our extreme athletes, surfing, motocross, etc. We are the official beverage of the Vans Warp Tour. We'll have concert footage. So in other words, when the people in this train are going to have a real fun and entertaining experience. So we're changing, being able to really change boring transportation into a fun experience. And then the key for us then is that when people get off the train, we're going to have vending machines on the stations, sampling opportunities, people will be able to buy and taste the drink. So now we've taken the consumer from the first visual impression right through with spending time with us, getting to know the feel of our brand, and then actually tasting it. And for that, that's a very, very unique opportunity. And then the other thing is that, I mean, in one opportunity, we're able to get to consumers from throughout the U.S. And, you know, there are 40 million visitors that come to Las Vegas. It's the most visited city, I think, in the world.
Can you guys take us inside the car? Can you take us inside?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And from what I understand, these are made up in Canada, Bombardier, is that right?
That is correct.
Kingston,
and then
Canada.
come down to the States. This is the inside.
You can see there's an opportunity for graphics, and really, as Rodney was trying to point out, this is much more than transportation from point to point. This is a ride.
Are the major casinos involved in this process, in this project at all? I know I was out in Las Vegas in April, and I rode a monorail, I thought, from Mandalay Bay to Luxor and Excalibur. I guess those are all owned by the same company. Is this different from this?
Well, yeah, it's actually different than the one you're referring to specifically, but the answer to your question is, yes, the casinos are very much involved in this. They've been incredibly supportive, and this is really... this is a good thing for them too. This gives tourism a chance in Las Vegas to have a multi-resort experience here. But there are 7 stations along the route, and with the exception of the convention center station, they are all operated and would be compatible with a casino.
And Rodney, as images change, certainly, and advertising efforts change, can you change the graphics on the outside of the car to suit a current ad campaign if they should change in the future?
We're not sure we would change the outside. There's no reason why we wouldn't. As we go on a longer term basis with the monorail, I'm sure we will be changing the outside. But really what we would do on the short term is actually use the video screens, which will be big plasma screens in each car. There'll be 2 of them, to actually convey messages about the product or updated advertising or anything else. And so that's the real unique part of what we can actually convey and interact really with consumers who are standing in the train or sitting in the train.
And John, finally, does this ride cost anything for the people using the train, or is it a free service?
We anticipate that the average fare will be $2.50 a ride, which means that, you know, if you walk in off the street, it'll be slightly more than that, but there'll be several opportunities for discount fares, multi-ride, multi-day fares.
Yes.
So we think the average $2.50 will be what the ride will cost.
Yeah, so if you're staying in a hotel, it's probably going to be a lot less than that because they work out a deal, I imagine.
Probably.
All right, John Haycock and Rodney Sachs, thank you so much for being with us. Again, the monorail system gets up and running, they say, early next year in Las Vegas.